Good morning, French people, and good afternoon, Koreans. We're really glad to have you here today and for this morning about French and Korean relationship and cooperation. I'm Nalwen Simoneau. I am an international project manager at Bpifrance, which is a French public investment bank. And without any further presentation, I would like just to give the floor to our first speaker, Mr. Luc Gendreville, International Project Manager for our Ministry of Economy, Finance and Recovery.
Thank you, Nalwen. Ladies and gentlemen, bonjour, annyeonghaseyo, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Directorate General for Enterprise, it is my pleasure to introduce this webinar for the presentation of 2021 French-Korea bilateral call for R&D proposal. Now, I have to change. Yes. As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic hit everyone, Korean and French citizens alike, and because it hit everyone, we have to work together. And in this fight, we face the same challenges, like organizing deliveries of medical aid, supporting citizens and businesses, dealing with lockdowns and travel restrictions. This crisis gives also a huge economic challenge to all companies. It served as a strong reminder of the need to tackle global challenges together and to deepen our commercial ties. To respond to the economic crisis, we both launched recovery plans. Indeed, French Relance and the Korean New Deal share a number of common goals. We both want to develop more innovative and competitive industries while promoting a greener and inclusive economy. That's why it is an opportunity to pursue and deepen the cooperation for the growth of our respective economies. The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated the need to accelerate the digital transition in our countries. With this in mind, Korea has designated digital as one of the three pillars of its New Deal. France aims at dedicating 20% of the 100 billion euros of its recovery plan to digitalization. The signs of the global warming also triggered the action towards a greener industry. That's why the French recovery plan will dedicate 30 billion euros to the green transition and especially 1.2 billion euros to decarbonate our industry. Regarding the technologies we need to master to achieve these goals, France launched the fourth Programme d'investissement d'avenir. This program consists of identifying the main challenges of tomorrow's socio-economic transition and investing in them in an exceptional and massive way in a global approach, financing, standards, taxation, and others. These acceleration strategies, as we call them, will be funded by 12.5 billion euros until 2025, some as part of the recovery plan. 4 of them, you see them in blue, are already launched. It's decarbonated hydrogen, quantum computing, cybersecurity, and the EdTech. And call for projects and demonstrators are opened at the moment. For example, France will dedicate 7 billion euros until 2030 to develop green, hydrogen, and related technologies. The other ones are on the verge to be launched or still under construction. New cooperation between our two countries can then emerge from these similarities, for example, in the energy and environment sector, or in ICT industry, green mobility, or in else. French-Korea industrial cooperation is quite old, you know. French company began to enter the Korean market in the 70s. I'm thinking of Alstom for high-speed train and power station, or Alcatel for telecommunication equipment. Today, many large French companies are present in Korea. To name a few, in the automotive industry, France is represented by Renault Samsung Motors, one of the 5 Korean automakers, 80% of which is owned by Renault. In the petrochemical industries, Total partners with Hanwha, Air Liquide, or Arkema also have production facilities in Korea. French finance and assurance sector are also strong footing in Korea. And this year, there will be an important investment made by Total with the Australian company Macquarie in the offshore wind power. French-Korea cooperation in innovation is also dynamic. Numerous agreements link the private player in our two ecosystems. A memorandum of understanding between the Embassy of France in Korea and the Korea Institute of Startup and Entrepreneurship Development has been recently signed, notably enabling French and Korean startups wishing to settle in our respective country to participate in exchange programs. On the industrial end, the Director General for Enterprise meets each year with his Korean homologue from the MOTI to share views and fund strategic partnership and support on the institutional side the cooperation that exists between French and Korean companies. Stemming from these meetings, the DGE and KIAT have held last November the 6th edition of the France-Korea Forum on Innovative Industries. This forum aims to bring together French and Korean companies around innovative industrial projects. In the form of a webinar, successful bilateral projects have been presented, as well as the Total Macquarie offshore wind project. And some companies could present themselves to more than 100 viewers. And today, materializing the memorandum of understanding being renewed in 2019 between Bpifrance and KIAT, this webinar is held to kick off the call for collaborative and innovative projects and the opening of the matching session. The number of attendees of today, we are now almost 71 people. And despite the impossibility to travel and the jet lag with Korea, shows the dynamic of France and Korea ecosystems and the partnership opportunities between our innovative players. Those cooperations are key in a more competitive environment than ever. Together, we could develop new technologies and share knowledge to be at the forefront of disruptive innovations. I'm sure this webinar will be interesting for all the viewers, and I hope there will be a lot of rendezvous between French and Korean companies on the matchmaking platform, resulting in numerous project proposals. I thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Luc. And yeah, we had more than 100 registrations for today. So it's really, really like we're really glad to see how much you're interested in that kind of relationship and partnerships with both countries. So we're really glad to have you today. We might encounter a little technical difficulty for the next speaker. So I propose you that actually we pass to the next one, which is actually Mr. Jason Kang, who is director for the Eureka for the KIAT Europe office, sorry, and who will be presenting the historical part and then our funding program from Korean side. And we will propose to our Mr. Lee to maybe have a word of closing about this webinar, if it is okay with you. So Jason, the floor is yours. We can hear you. Yeah, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you might have the slides in the middle yeah, perfect.
Yeah. 1 second, please. Yeah. Okay, let me start. Hello, bonjour, good morning, and good afternoon. I am Jason Kang, National Project Coordinator of South Korea, and I am very pleased to have a presentation about the Korea-France joint call today. Could you go to the next page, please? Okay. This is the contents of my presentation today. I am going to briefly explain about the Korea-France R&D cooperation, and then explain about the Korean-France calls and how to apply and evaluate process for this call. Okay, first of all, let me introduce the International Technology Cooperation Program of South Korea. The International Technology Cooperation Program is the R&D program of the Ministry of Industry and Energy, Trade, Industry and Energy in Korea, and specially designed to support the open innovation for the Korean R&D entities through cooperating with other countries. The KIAT is the R&D funding agency under the Ministry of the Trade, Industry and Energy, and the organizer of the International Technology Cooperation Program with the funding budget of 60 million euros for every year. In order to support international technology cooperation, we have bilateral cooperation with 14 countries, including France, and we are also participating with European multilateral framework, such as Eureka Network and Eurostars and Horizon Europe. And in addition, we are organizing some networking events, such as B2Match and the seminars to support companies to finding out R&D partners. And here in Europe, we are holding annual event to promote Korea as an R&D partner to Europe, which is called Korea Eureka Day. And as one of the Eureka Network event, we are planning to have this year's Korea Eureka Day on the 19th of May next month at the Eureka Innovation Summit in Austria, and you can participate Korea Eureka Day by online as well. And I hope you to participate the event. This is a history of global R&D cooperation program of Korea. The Korea joined the Eureka Network in 2009, and we started to R&D cooperation with European side, and we also made a bilateral cooperation relationship with France in 2014, and with acknowledging the importance of close cooperation between two countries. This cooperation was initiated at the Korea-France Summit in 2013 with agreement of strengthening technological cooperation between two countries. And both governments had annual forum on the innovation industries to following up this agreement. From this annual forum, we discovered strategic technology sectors for cooperation and started Korea-France joint R&D promotional calls and organized several events to support technology cooperation between two countries. As a result of our cooperation during the last 10 years, since the Korea joined the Eureka Network, the KIAT has supported 40 R&D projects cooperating with France. Before we started bilateral cooperation with Bpifrance in 2014, the most of Korean project cooperating with France companies was the Eureka Cluster project. So at the time, until that time, we supported 24 Eureka clusters. But as you know, the Eureka Cluster program is the huge program with participating with multiple countries. So it is not easy to say that we are cooperating with only for France for the R&D project. But after we started the bilateral program with French side, we supported the 12 bilateral R&D programs and 4 Eurostar projects. So annually we supported 2 to 5 R&D programs. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any project last year because I think we had the Corona pandemic crisis last year, so I think the companies couldn't apply for the project last year. But I hope this year will be another restarting point to support the R&D project between two countries. So I hope to see many projects for this call. I hope to see many projects can be applied for this call this year. This is the scope of the bilateral core of the Korea and France. The core is basically the Eureka network core, specially launched between two countries. Therefore, this core is totally the bottom up. So any technology thematic area is welcome for applying this core. However, we have 6 thematic technology areas both countries are focusing as you can see in the core text. These thematic cores, these thematic areas for the promotional purpose meet the both countries' industrial technology policy priority. So we hope to see many projects of these technology areas, but I hope you to understand that this core is not limited to these thematic areas. And the project should be goes beyond the international state of art and advanced technology for the performance or cost competitiveness, and it has to be the benefit for the market perspective of global value chain. This is the eligibility of this call. So as a Eureka project, the project eligibility is following. One thing you have to attention is that this core is not a fundamental science research project. So the project has to be the industrial technology for the commercialization. And also the second important you have to know is that the consortium must include at least one Korean company and one French company. So it means that we don't support a research project between only the universities or research institute, and no single organization of the country can be responsible for more than 70% of the project budget, which is the very common regulation of the Eureka Network program.
저희 된 것 같아요.
Could you turn up the mic? Okay. This is the national eligibility of South Korea. All types of research entities can participate in the consortium. So large companies and small and medium-sized companies, university and research institute also can join the program. However, at least one private company should be in the Korean consortium. So each project have the companies must have the companies in the consortium. And also there are 2 more requirements for the Korean companies. The Korean company should be in the operation for more than 1 year after their establishment. And the second one is that they are required to have a Corporation R&D Center certificate issued by the Korean government. This certificate is a minimum preliminary check of the R&D capability of the company. So if the company has proper R&D facility and researchers, then it is not difficult to receive this certificate by online process. This is the funding condition of the South Korea. Our budget commitment for this core is open budget, so we are currently don't have any expecting number of the project to fund for this core, so that the total number of the project will be decided by the quality of the project and budget situation and mutual consensus with French side. And the funding size of the project is up to 500 million Korean won, which is the 370,000 euros per year, and the project period will be less than 3 years. This is the government funding ratio of the project. So the funding ratio is depending on the type of participants. So normally the funding ratio for the small and medium size will be the 50 to 70% of the total project cost. But we have special guideline only for this year because of the COVID crisis. So in this case, this project will start December of this year. So you can set up the first year budget with the special guideline. So which is the 60%, 65% for medium-sized companies and 80% for the small and medium-sized companies. And this is the cash ratio for the private matching fund, which is the civilian use. We also have the special guideline for this matching fund for only for the first year. So you can set up the first year budget, as you can see here. For example, for small and medium-sized companies, they have to pay the 10% of their the total project cost by cash or cash in kind. Lastly, I would like to talk about the application process and assessment process. This is the core process and schedule of this call. So the deadline of the call will be the 31st of August. And we are going to evaluate the project from September to October. And we hope to have the final funding decision on this November. And I hope to, we expect that the project can be started on this December. So in order to apply the project, you have to prepare two proposals. So the first one is the proposal in English prepared with your consortium, and then you have to submit your English proposal to the Eureka network, the application system, which is called the Smart Simple, and then you have to prepare the Korean project proposal, and the Korean project leader have to submit the Korean project proposal to the Korean application system, which is called KPAS, and both are the deadline is the same as the 31st of August. So you have to submit two project proposals at the same date. This is the web page of Smart Simple. So you can easily find the Smart Simple system link at the Eureka web page. So if you look up the Eureka web page, you can find Korea France call for the project, and there is a link to go to the Smart Simple web page. So your consortium can join. Every participant of the project have to join the Smart Simple and have to submit all together. And this is the application system of the Korean side, which is called KPAS. So you have to go to this link, and you need to look up the Korea France code to input your keyword at the searching box, and you can apply for the code to the Korean side. This is the evaluation criteria of the Korean side. So we have 4 evaluation criteria, and each of the number will be the point. So the minimum threshold will be the 70 points out of 100. So if the proposals are normally in Korea we have we are going to have the technical expert committee meeting for the project evaluation, and the presentation for the proposal will be asked for the Korean participant. So from this September to October, we're gonna have the presentation and committee meeting to evaluate the project in Korean side. After that, we are going to have the consensus meeting with the French side for the funding decision. So every project above the threshold of 70 points, we are going to consider the assessment result of the French side, and we are going to have a funding decision with mutual consensus. And then we are going to finalize the funding decision on this November. This is the end of my presentation. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Jason. And yeah, I saw that you are actually quite used to this kind of platform, since some of you already asked some question in the questions part. Maybe the first one is, what is the TRL level range for the project?
Actually, from TRL will be the above the TRL 4, we guess. So we don't have the exact number of the TRL for this core at this moment, but this core is for the development of commercialization technology and product or service. So we are focusing on to support above the TRL 4 to 5.
Yeah, actually, I would say that we do not have like one specific TRL in mind, but the objective, of course, is you have 3 years of co-development. So after those 3 years, we're really waiting for a go-to-market quite short. So you have to be in the last part of the development, but we won't have like this number of TRL or it is not. So that's it. Second question, what is the number of partners? Is there a limitation?
Actually, there's no limitation. So you can.
We just have a minimum, actually. It's one on both sides.
Yes, that is true. So the university and research institute and many companies also participate, and even the large companies can participate in the project.
Perfect. So, sorry. I will continue. So this was the Korean part, and I will, and that's why I didn't answer Joe Twin question. I will answer it right now, but you already know it actually because you're quite used to the program. So our joint innovation program. So actually, Jason did wonderful work. So I will repeat some things, but you will understand it afterwards. So of course, our objective is really for us to support you through your scaling up internationally and to accelerate your international growth, to reinforce also innovation abilities and capacity, because you will work with other technological companies, and our objective is really for you to take the best of it and to co-develop something, or to co-adapt something with your partner, or really to co-develop something completely new with your two technologies. So of course, all those things have been discussed already. The collaboration framework. So you understood, as Jason said, we have the Bpifrance on one side, which will be actually supporting the French companies, and the KIAT on the other side for the Korean company. I just add something, because our objective is really to fund your R&D collaborative projects, but also to help you to go to that point. So on our side, we will have a small support also, which is called DIAG Partenariat Technologique International, which is here to help you find your partner, collaborate, like negotiating or contracting with them if you need a market study. And so we will be here before it to help you better arrive on submitting a good proposal for the co-funding. So eligible companies. So that's interesting for French companies, but also to Korean want to know what kind of companies you're looking for in France. We're quite, as Jason said, for the profile of eligible companies, so enterprises, we're quite, the scope is quite wide. We are from startups to, in France is ETI, so big not corporate, but just before, up to 2,000 full-time equivalents. So it's kind of a big companies already. But I have one particularity. Academics and research institute can be added as additional partners, but couldn't be one whole partner because actually Bpifrance couldn't fund them. So you could totally have universities or laboratories in your consortium, but the costs for that laboratories will be included in yours as a company, and we will fund you as a company, and you will pay, I would say, the university or laboratories as a subcontractor. So that's the only specificity, and it's quite open because it's the only condition, I would say. Of course, you have one, but linked to the European regulation is that you already know that it is €1 per €1 of capital. So it will directly link to your amount of capital, but you could discuss it with you, of course, afterwards. After that, the only eligible criteria, I would say, would be that we really want co-development, and co-development with two companies with their own technologies, with really a new value, technological value on both sides. So it's not subcontracting. But after that, you are eligible, and we have to check because maybe you already know Bpifrance and how it works. You should have some chargé d'affaires in your local office, and so we will discuss it afterwards with them, but that's the big eligible conditions. About targeted sectors, as Jason said, our call won't be thematic, but we have some specific, of course, interests. You know that Bpifrance is really involved in the climate plan, so all energy, environment, and all you could have would be, of course, of so much interest for us. But we also had health year very much. So if it is in health and well-being or silver tech, it would be, of course, very welcome. And you have all other type, but once again, it won't be thematic. So all of your technology are welcomed. We just have to discuss it together. So how is the funding criteria is working? So as we said earlier, we have for the partnership at least one Korean company and one French company. After that, you could do whatever you want with the other companies. You could also have one company from another country, but the problem is that it won't be funded because it's a bilateral call. And as Jason said, we want a balanced relationship. So it's no more than 70-75% of the total budget on only one of the partners. Eligible beneficiaries, we already discussed it. French companies up to 2,000 full-time equivalents. Eligible costs, as we discussed earlier with a question about the TRL, actually we're really into the development thing. So it will be R&D, so research, prototype, test, etc. But we stop right before the industrial and commercialization part. But it is very near, actually, and the go-to-market is really fast, but we will be just before. So funding amount. So that's for the question of GeoTwin. So actually in France, it will be about avance remboursable, reimbursable advances, or 0% loan. So actually, what does it mean? It means that we give you like the money during your R&D collaboration. So during these 3 years maximum, you will receive the money, and then you will have 2 years at least to have a real like commercialization, and so return on investment. And after these 5 years, we will begin to ask you to reimburse little by little. So it's really not like you have 1 year and after you have to reimburse. You really have to this time to have a return on investment. Regarding the amount, actually, it will depend, as I said, it will depend on your capital, but we could go up to 3 million euros and up to 65% of your cost as a French company. Duration, Jason already mentioned it, that I repeated it, maximum of 3 years, because once again, we are quite near to the market, and it's really interesting and important for us that actually it is this kind of call could be seen as a very comfortable first way to go in a new country, because you arrive in a country and the market is really the target, and you arrive with a product that you co-develop with some local partners. So it's very interesting for you to not arrive with like an export kind of view with just your French product and new market. Here you will have a co-developed product on a new market, and so it's easier, but the goal after the R&D collaboration is really the market. So that's it. So how is it working? Jason once again did a fantastic job. So you already have all the information about the Eureka platform and how you have to do it. But the first step on our side is to schedule a meeting with us. So you have our email address here. You can contact me. So just we can actually discuss your project with you, see if it is really into what we're waiting in this kind of call, and also, as I said earlier, see with your chargé d'affaires in region if it is okay if we go in this kind of collaboration and program. So that's the first step. Afterwards, so you could also, I mentioned the DIAG Partenariat Tech International, you could also ask for it to help you construct and then submit your projects. And then you have to submit your proposal online on the Eureka platform, as Jason mentioned it. And you will also have the national submission with your chargé d'affaires. But we could also, of course, discuss it later when you will calling us. But the thing you have in mind is that the deadline is August 31st. So you have kind of time to use a new platform for matchmaking and to call us so we can discuss it together. And I think that's it. So I will answer all your questions maybe. So subvention ou avance remboursable. What is the number of partners? It's okay. Does the funding of research take place through subcontracting mechanism from the companies to the National Institute? So as I said in France, yes, the research institutes are kind of subcontracted mechanism for us. So actually it will be your partner as another partner, but financially speaking, yes, for us, you will be, if you're just you and one university, you will be the only partner, and the cost of the university will be within your own costs. And so we will give you the money and you will have to pay them back, because we cannot do that directly in France. I don't know if it's what you meant, but please answer it. In which category EPIC is considered? That's a very good question. In which kind of, or businesses to separate? In which kind of, are you in a laboratory or, because we're not quite used to fund some EPIC, so we really have to discuss it together. As a regional, our business to support technical and product innovation. Yeah. Completely. We could also discuss it together. Actually, yes, that's very difficult. And actually, I had the same question from another one this week, and I'm waiting for the exact answer from our chargé d'affaires. That's kind of complicated because we're actually focused on SMEs. And so for all the type of organisms, it's quite complex, but we must discuss it to see if it is possible. So let's send us an email and we will discuss it. Perfect. I'm saying, okay, do you have any other question, or could we continue? Of course, you understood that you could ask us any question anytime you want. You will receive the slides to read them and understand it better. If you have any question before the end of the webinar, it will be with pleasure that we will answer your question. And otherwise, we're continuing. So maybe I propose you that we continue with our project success stories, because as Jason said, we are quite used to work together, and we had a success stories through two companies, Amotech and Sigfox in France, and I think the director of Amotech is here. Are you here? Can I let you the floor? Mr. Hugh? Well, I continue then. And maybe we will have, is it possible to have maybe the closing remarks meant at the very beginning of the webinar if we didn't have any technical issue by the, maybe, I'm not sure who's sharing the screen? Yes. Perfect. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Wait, no, please, sorry.
Sorry?
Okay. Yes. Nice to meet you. My name is Kyung-hyun Yu from Amotech. I am in charge of research and development. Thank you for introducing our project at the France and Korea joint business. The project to be presented today is location information service based on context awareness through Sigfox tracker. First of all, I will introduce Amo Group. Amo Group is commercializing as a global leader in fields such as IT, automotive, high efficiency energy, and biotechnologies. Amotech business is EMC, antenna, village motor parts. Sense is our post-core nanofiber, thermal plastic, battery, FPCB, yes. Sense wireless charging, ceramic division, packaging division, sensor circuit, and integration software. Life science is cell culture, magnetic beads, wound patch, smart skin, healthcare device. Sorry. Our group has subsidiary Amotech, Sense, Green-Tech, Life Science, and Nestle. Nestle is Sigfox base station business. These days is increasing in elderly dementia patients, and the pet and the livestock related IoT market is growing rapidly. According to these social changes, we developed a situation-aware Sigfox tracker, energy harvesting technology, and a device with low power and smart care geofence technology for people with dementia. Additionally, we developed Sigfox network service platform that recognizes the surrounding situation of pet, livestock, and dementia patients, and provides location tracking and notification services. In Korea, Amotech company developed the Sigfox tracker device, applied the Sigfox module and Sigfox module. The Bpifrance company in Korea developed the service platform, Sigfox service platform. In France, Sigfox linked the device with the Sigfox network and developed the technology so that the Sigfox device can be used even in emergency situations by applying energy harvesting technology. The energy harvest technology is battery charging technology with the temperature difference between the human body and the outside. This project has an IoT device commercialization solution through international cooperation developed between France and Korea. The service platform of this project connects Amotech Sigfox tracker to the front end server of Amo SNet Sigfox base station in Korea. And after connecting a front back-end server with the Sigfox RT portal, the service platform is configured so that users can monitor. This picture is France and Korea international cooperation research and solution. The service platform of this project is okay. Watch a video of tracking the device location through the Sigfox server at the PPT bottom right. Okay. Oh. Yes. This is Sigfox tracker. And base station. This picture is tracking the device. Yes. In the Sigfox device, GPS, BLE, NFC, and Sigfox communication technologies are applied. Using these communication technologies, it is possible to detect zone departure by selective communication method according to the situation. AmoSense is commercialized various IoT devices in cooperation with France Sigfox. We have environmental condition monitoring, service care, asset tracking, and workplace safety and security devices. As the first achievement of IoT device, we launched the world first UWB tracker. This is a UWB tracker device. Thank you for being able to achieve IoT commercialization first through the KIAT project. Additionally, we are preparing to commercialize various devices and platforms by connecting with the UWB tracker and symbols. The main technology of project is real-time location detecting technology. Based on the zone deviation monitoring device, combination of wearable and low-power IoT devices, and utilizing energy harvesting based on physical energy. We look forward to entering the Sigfox Global IoT Network Service and the disappearance prevention service market with this technology. AMO-S-Net is a Korean Sigfox operator, which is installing a nation network-based station and is expanding the this picture is AMO-S-Net network current coverage in Korea. Sigfox business in cooperation with the Sigfox in France. Yes, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this success story, which is quite inspirational because you had it's really interesting, and I think everyone could think about using your new device. So it's very, very interesting, and so thank you for having shared this with us. And I would like to continue with our closing remarks by the Korean Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy, with Mr. Lee, Deputy Director General of the Department of Industrial Technology Development.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, totally.
Thank you. Bonjour. There was another technical glitches. It's supposed to be my speaking to be short. Bonjour, everyone. I'm working for Ministry of the Industry. I'm in charge of the International R&D program. I would like to warmly greet Mr. Luc Jean-Goupil, as well as the Adeline Lee-Scope, who is the economic advisor at the French Embassy in Korea. Even prolonged the corona pandemic, I'm truly pleased that we are able to hold today's across Korea joint business briefing session online. Ever since establishing diplomatic ties in 1886, the Korea-France had fostered a cooperative relationship as the long-standing partners for under 30 years. France has served as the strong supporter of Korea during its industrial development process, and we have been worked together to mutually advance industrial cooperation in a variety of fields, especially the aviation industry, high-speed trains, and information and communication. Under the Eureka and other EU programs, we've successfully boosted technological cooperation for projects related to autonomous vehicles and satellite communications. In the future, we hope to strengthen the strategic partnership between both countries and promote the global innovation and spearhead the technological paradigms. In the coronavirus era, the extreme uncertainty, individual countries around the world are undergoing the industrial reorganization amid the industrial revolutions. Under the motto of La French Tech, France is promoting the digitalization across industries, while also focusing on fostering new industries. In particular, I was very impressed by economic France relance policy that was implemented in September last year. And the policy actually advanced the industrial innovation by making an effort to shift toward the eco-friendly economy and bolster corporate competitiveness. Since last July, Korea has prepared and pushed forward its the Korean New Deal strategy, which has preemptively responded to the economic and social transformations and unprecedented crisis by making structural changes amid industrial revolution. Since the green transition serves as the major pillar for both countries' strategies, I'm confident that France and Korea will be able to actively cooperate together to foster values that are very much in line with each other. Given this, beyond the key collaborations within the main business projects, we'll also actively support the new collaborative initiatives related to eco-friendly energy, carbon neutrality, and green mobility, so that they may come to the fore. Finally, the coronavirus has still a very real fear in the society and has ruptured various organizations' agenda. I hope that the innovative leaders of France and Korea may come together to create an even stronger sense of solidarity, look after each other, and maximize each other's strength to overcome the obstacles of each day. I'd like to thank you all one final time for helping to prepare this year's business briefing sessions, as well as the B2B matchmaking session. I sincerely hope that we'll be able to greet each other in person next time. Well, until then, I wish you all good health and be safe. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. And actually, that's quite a perfect transition because I will let the floor to Sue Kim for the presentation, because actually, yes, you had now all the information regarding the co-funding program. Now let's meet and match with your future partner. And so they try to help you through a new platform. Please. Could you find your presentation?
I'm trying to.
Yes, wait, I'm helping you, I guess. Oops, nope, that's not the good one, sorry. Oh, maybe it is actually, because...
Yeah, did you find one?
I know, 109. Nope.
Okay. I'm still trying to get used to all this digital system.
Sorry. I think this one, yeah. I think it is after the first slide.
Really?
Yes, it's coming. Yes, here it is.
Yes. Okay. Well, thanks for the introduction, Noel, and good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can see my screen okay. And as introduced, my name is Sue Kim from ED Research, which is one of the EN partner organization. And today I'll be introducing what EN is and how we can support you finding a matching partner. Okay. So here you can see the main contents to be covered today. First, I'll be introducing EN, including what's that really and how it works. And then I'll fill you in how to find partners for your R&D project. So, and please carefully note that the tool named B2Match will be mainly used for this. And lastly, I'll end my presentation with some additional information that I thought might be helpful for everyone. So what is EN? EN is basically a supporting network with over 30,000 of experts registered from more than 600 member organizations. And when I say member organization, they're all renowned for their excellence in business support. And it's the largest support network for small and medium-sized enterprises with international ambitions. And the network is grouped in the teams of advisors covering the most relevant sectors such as healthcare, environment, materials, ICT, agri-food, energy, and etc. And for your information, ED Research is specialized and focused on the 5 sector groups, which are ICT, materials, mobility, energy, and healthcare. So simply to say, the EN supports to establish the international technology and business partnership for SMEs. And targeting that, EN's fundamental goal is to help clients in academia and the private sector in finding the best research, technology, and business partner available. For instance, we organize B2B matchmaking events, both the on and offline. I mean, of course, nowadays with all this COVID situation, everything quickly transformed to 100% online. But we help the companies promote their technology and business and R&D projects through the EN profiles, and we also provide the advisory service, especially on how to thrive a successful international business. So now you might be wondering who's the right EN partner for you. Once logged into the EN main webpage, as you can see on the screen right now, you'll see the kind directory where you can find a local network contact point of yours. You can find the local network contact by selecting the country and the city closest to where your business is based. The partners in your area help you with advice, support, and opportunities for international partnerships. So to summarize, the Korean organization like companies, university, and research institutes who needs help with finding the matching partner, you can directly reach out to us, the ED Research, and vice versa. The French parties can contact to one of the EN French partners. You can search through the system. So that's about it regarding the EN. And now I'll be introducing the B2Match platform, which is particularly established for the supporting partner search for Korea and France bilateral call for 2021. So in the current slide, you'll be able to see the link for the website. So click that and register yourself by creating a brief but strong profile telling what types of technology you possess and what your plans are for the project. And to create a good profile, adding marketplace opportunities part with some details of your collaboration plans is just never too much to emphasize. And once completing the profile, there'll be a quick quality check by the event organization. And here I'm referring to the EN partners of Korea and France. And once approved, you'll be all ready to search potential partners and arrange meetings yourself. Next. So this is simply how the profile will look like. So after completing the simple registration steps, filling out basic information about your company and the person in charge, here on this page, you'll be able to add the marketplace items, telling your technology expertise and R&D project plan. Because the potential partners will be looking at this page of your profile and decide whether you're worthy of having a meeting with or not, providing a strong profile with the clear demands is just very important, I would say. So this is the example of it. So after completing the profile, you're finally ready to search partners yourself and actually request meetings to the person you like to have a meeting with. So you can use the page dedicated to the marketplace items to have a look and find an opportunity matching your activity, or just to see what's requested that you can contribute. And during this process, you can use some filters on your left side to kind of narrow down your selected list of participants by their industries, expertise, organization types, and etc. So let's say you have found one partner among the list and you wish to have a meeting with them. You can simply click on the participant's card, like you can see in the screen, and to get in contact with them. So this is how it looks like. Once clicking the participant's card, you can find the person's profile and 2 options available. So you can either send message to the person to figure if the person has the common interest and the availability for the meetings, or if you're sure about you want to proceed a meeting, you can directly request the meeting to the person. So once the other party accepts your meeting, the meeting will be officially confirmed. So after that, you can see your entire agenda and the meeting schedule under My Agenda button on the top again. And on the confirmed date and time, you can log into the website and proceed a meeting on the same platform. By that being said, the virtual meeting takes place through the B2Match video tool, which is integrated in the B2Match platform already, and it doesn't need to be downloaded. Once again, the virtual meeting takes place through the B2Match video tool. You'll just have to check whether your current browser is up to date with the latest version. And before the meeting, you can test your microphone and camera in your meeting list. And in order to do this, you need to click the blue camera and microphone test and follow the instruction. But even without the camera, you can still the meeting still can take place in the audio mode. And additionally, once you have a confirmed meeting, you can share a meeting link to the third person, and the person can also join the meeting on the confirmed date and time. So lastly, I would like to end my presentation with some additional tips for your successful R&D collaboration. To find a good partner for your project, number 1 is always to make a good use of B2Match. And in case you don't find any matching partner, even on the B2Match platform, no worries, EM partners are here for you. And you can reach out to the national EM partners in your local area. So for the Koreans, the main contact will be myself, and share your project plan and expertise out. And with the given information, EM partners can disseminate your demand profile through EM and related networks. And also for the case that you already have a partner in mind and would like to get in contact with them, please let us know the name of the company, and we'll try to initiate the first contact with them for you. And next, for a successful collaboration, you should, of course, have a clear or almost clear definition for your R&D proposal, as this will be the very important standard for you to select the right partner for your project. Also, please don't hesitate to contact either KIAT, like the National Funding Agency, and the EM partners if you have any questions regarding the project. So, oops, ready? So that will be all for my presentation today. I mean, it took shorter than I expected, but I hope you found this all informative, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any inquiries about the call or the partner search request. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time and attention.
Thank you so much. Sorry. No, it was very interesting. And sorry, Sue, could you just close the microphone and then open it again? Because we hear the... Oh, thank you, thank you. So thank you so much for the presentation. Actually, for French people, you know that Enterprise Europe Network is all over the country. So it depends actually on your region. So in France, it is, in Île-de-France, so the French-Sicilian region, it is the CCI or Bpifrance. So I am part of EEN actually. So if you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us as well. And after that, you just have to like write Enterprise Europe Network, then the name of your region or department, and you will find your actually local EEN partners. So you could actually, really use this network to help you find your perfect partners. And otherwise, well, you had an excellent presentation of the platform, the B2Match platform. And so that is the actual kickoff for that platform. From now, you also, well, we wanted to have a dedicated moment of matching for the 2 next hours, but you could also use the platform up until the August 31st. So please do not hesitate. I saw as questions earlier that you wanted to have a list of people possibly interested in R&D collaboration. Well, that is the place to add them and to find it. As you said earlier, I really want to add something on your profile. Please give as much detail as you can, because after that the B2Match platform is really well made, and so you have the marketplace, and it will only depend on what you put as criteria or rules, and you will find way easier your potential partner. So please have a specific attention on your profile. And then I guess that it is the end. Thank you for all of you that you're still here, even if we passed for a quarter of our minutes the time. Thank you so much for being here. We hope that we will have so many beautiful, innovative R&D collaborative partnerships and projects. So next step is that working, like creating your profile on the platform, and then coming and like meet your KIAT or Bpifrance in France, and so we can discuss your future project and then submit it, hopefully, and found your project. So thank you all. I'm just looking at if we have any other. NPC in France is Point de Contact National. The NPCs are actually, yes, all the people who could give you information on European projects and thematic information about fundings. So that's quite interesting to know who they are. If you have no other questions, and thank you once again. Thank you for all our panelists. It was very, very interesting. You will receive the replay as well as the slides, and we hope to have news from you very soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.